Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, I've been doing quite a lot of reviews recently. Some of these have been thanks to our friend David, who's provided some very interesting kits indeed, and he's done quite a few that have been kind of related to the Vietnam War. And we have another one here actually, the A-1J Skyraider from Hobby 2000. Now, some of you might recall we also had the F-111 not too many weeks ago, and that was also Hobby 2000. And like this was a rebox of the Hasegawa kit. So this is a Hasegawa sprues inside. Hobby 2000 do these boxings very nicely. They include a mask set, and you get things you need, you know. And you've got some nice sort of fancy spot UV varnish on a matte sort of laminated box, which always looks great. Let's take a closer look. So the Skyraider, what do you think of this? I mean, I always thought that these planes were just like a, how can I put it? I look at it and I think, wow, it looks like a P-47 Thunderbolt that took a lot of steroids and pumped itself right up, you know? Because that's kind of what it is, isn't it, really? It's like a super beefy Thunderbolt for the Vietnam era. Anyway, let's have a look at what we have here. We have got a couple of options. We've got the based in Thailand in 1969, the SOW, what's that? SO something wing. Somebody will tell me. What does SOW mean? I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. Anyway, it's Vietnam. For attacking Vietnam from Thailand in 1969, and then we've got the 602. It's just a different numbered aircraft from the same wing, in fact. Slightly different graphics. So, without further ado, I think we should get stuck into this and see what we've got. It's quite a big box, and I think from memory, if it's anything like the F-111, it's a bit overboxed, you know what I mean? Yes, it is. Slightly bigger sprues than the F-111 perhaps, but still a bigger box than perhaps is strictly necessary. Not quite as bad as Airfix though in that respect. Right, so first of all I think we'll start with the decals, which are, if I can find my remote control to zoom you in. Here we go, some very nice cartograph decals. You can't go wrong with them, can you really? And there aren't too many of them, it's quite straightforward really. Almost minimalistic in terms of the number of decals and stencils, which is good. So we're not going to fight them for too long. They look very nice, as they always do. Here we've got our Hobby 2000 instructions. Sadly, one thing that does let these kits down from Hobby 2000, the only thing really, they don't include any history or details about the airplane at all, so we're a little bit in the dark. We've got a sprue map on the front, tells you helpfully which paints to use, and the conversion colour chart, with AK Interactive, Alclad, Ammo, Attacker, Mystical or Revell or Tamiya, which is fair enough. But why can't they have a little bit of data about the plane, huh? Anyway, so getting into the build, we are going to start our cockpit, starting with the tub, and we've got the pilot's seat and the instrumentation with the yoke, and we've got the instruments with a decal for the main instruments as you just saw. Then we've got the main fuselage assembly going on where you're putting in your cockpit, bringing the two sides of fuselage together. Top and bottom wing go onto the lower wing, all brought together there. Looks like we've got a poly cap, I think it is, coming in to the main engine assembly, and then there's a bit of sort of forward trim. Does it have a fan like an FW190? Does it have that? Looks a bit similar. Here, I'm looking at. I'm sure there's some Skyraider experts amongst you. What's this one here? That A5, that looks like some sort of fan to me. Anyway, you're bringing that in together, and then you're going to put your arrestor hook on, because obviously a lot of these were launched off carriers as well. And then we've got the main gear assembly for right and left, and then the gear doors going in there, going on thus. Straight into our weapons stores layout, loadout I should say. And we've got 300-gallon wing tanks, centre drop tank, sub-munitions dispenser, which is a rocket launcher, and then we've got 500-pound bomb, and there's an outboard pylon to add as well. plenty of weapons. They carried a lot of stuff, these planes. Very heavy loadouts, real workhorse. It had tons of power, didn't it, the Skyraider. And you got a split canopy as well, which is quite cool. Decals going in on your props, on the blades. And that's it. So then the rest of it really is basically colour call out for the two options you've got, both from the same fighter wing. Special Operations Wing, there we go, let's answer my question what SOW mean. Special Operations, in other words, bombing, strategic attacks, they'll be doing bridges and all sorts of things. So there you go, you got one option that's got like a night fighter dark underside, and the other has got like a standard grey, more of a sort of a ghost grey style. Very nice indeed. So let us have a look at the plastic then, and let's see what we've got. Can't beat a Skyraider, can you? Big meaty beast, don't you? Oh right, okay, it's a sealed bag, so I'm going to have to unseal it. So I need my ruler for this, if you just bear with me, just to get a nice straight line, so that I can reseal it. This one belongs to David, not me, and he doesn't want it back looking like a dog's had it for its breakfast. We will get that resealed nicely for him later. Made in Japan, well there you go, it tells you it's Hasegawa straight away, doesn't it? So, what we got? Made in Japan. Look in there. First of all, yeah, I mean, don't forget Hasegawa do these kits really nicely. So I don't think we're going to have any problems here at all. And we've got some lovely detail on the fuselage here, really nice panel lines. You can see the rudder really clearly there. You got these side air brakes on the side of the aircraft here that sadly don't open, and then you've got this very slightly odd shaped, that's what the aerodynamics are rather odd on these, the way it sort of steps. It has this step here and here, doesn't it? Big meaty propeller. You've got your big, was it the Wasp engine? It wasn't, was it? I think it was development of the Wasp, beefier version of it. I just can't remember what it was called. Unfortunately they didn't tell us in the instructions, so we don't know. And then we've got our various, it's got a squeak, this sprue, it's got a squeak, that's very unusual. And then we've got various parts of the cowls and the front of the engine, and then you've got that bit that I thought was a fan, but it obviously isn't. It looks very, very nice. And on the other side of the fuselage you've got your, again, super detailed, very finely finished as well, nice finish to it. That's the bit that's squeaking, I think it's just there, it's just detached from the sprue slightly. And there we have it, so that's the main sprue A. I'll just pop that back in there. Then we've got some smaller sprues, and here we've got our 500-pound bombs, which look rather nice, I've got to say. Very, very good indeed. And there's two of those sprues, so that's a twin matching pair. So then we have, come back a bit for this, and we have got our drop tanks, which, I mean, there could be napalm as well as another option, I suppose, on these. And then you've got all your little mounting pylons and sway braces here. Very nicely moulded, aren't they? Those sway braces, they're very small. And there's two of those, two of that twin sprue. Then we have another twin set, which is the rockets, like a Zuni rocket style. Well, I think they're not actually Zunis, are they, on these? Those are just like very reminiscent of the type carried by the Thunderbolt. It's like a triple rocket launcher. There's two of those. And then we have got these, what looks like a little poly cap. Not sure why there's four of those. Seems a bit And then we have the part off the sprue there. Actually, it looks like one of the undercarriage legs. Yes, make sure that goes back in the bag. And then we've got the wings, and we've got cannons on the wings. So we've got some 50 cal cannons, I think they are. 50 cal machine guns. And then you've got your all these multiple pylon points for carrying all these stores underneath. Look at that. It's quite nice, isn't it? Nice and clean moulding as well, you know, there's no flash or anything that looks like needs a lot of taking care of. It all looks very straightforward really, doesn't it? Nice kit. Clean, you know. Crisp. And then finally we've got the clear part, and I think we should probably open that and have a look. There we go. There we are. Very nicely done. That's a beautiful clear part actually. That's very nice for a 72nd scale. Very crisp and sharp. Yeah, beautiful. What a nice little kit actually. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but again it just shows that Hasegawa's kits are always nice, aren't they? You know, they always have that sort of cleanness to the moulds, and they're always a nice plastic and always nice and sharp, you know. So, we'll pop that away for now. Some of those bags need to be resealed. And let's have a verdict then on this one. So the Skyraider, the mother of all dive bombers you could call it. A real beast. Well, I think that's 9.5, do you think? I thought that they let it down by not having any write-up on it, so I think it's going to be 9, I think, in fairness. 9 out of 10 there, but for a 72nd scale kit, that's a really good rating, you know. I mean, it's amazing how many of these kits I've reviewed recently that have not been below 9. The standard seems to be creeping up, generally, I think, in kits today. And I think that that's reflected, you know, in just the general quality of kits and the way things are manufactured, perhaps. Just let down by its supporting data, let's call it, that isn't really there. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 from me. I think that's very fine. Nice plastic, great model. Definitely recommend that one to you. Nice kit. Make you a real beefy Skyraider. Hope you'll give me a 10 out of 10 with a like, with a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have, don't forget to ding that notification bell. And make sure you've dinged the all option, because that means you'll be given notification of any of my videos when they come up. And again, they get published and you'll get early warning. And it just remains for me to say thank you very much for joining me. Hope you found it interesting. Until next time, please look after yourselves. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.